In 2019, a country music musician by the name of Maren Morris released a song called The Bones. And if you haven't heard it, well, then you have some homework to do. And I don't want to hear about how it's summer. You have it anyways. You'll like it. It's good for you. The song has many powerful allusions to what relationships are made up out of and how they can help people to survive trials and tribulations in life. And I wanted to share just one of the really powerful series of lyrics that is part of this song, because I think it fits so very nicely with our gospel today. The song begins, "When the bones are good, the rest don't matter. Yeah, the paint could peel and the glass could shatter. Let it break, 'cause you and I remain the same. When there ain't a crack in the foundation, baby, I know any storm we are facing will blow right over while we stay put, because the house don't fall if the bones are good." Now, of course, she sings it much better than I do, and it sounds much better, I think, when you have musical instruments that play along. But what an amazing message. And it's very popular. People know this song. And I think the message of a song like that relates so well to the gospel because it speaks to you and to me on a very personal level and in a relatable way. The idea that our faith and the relationships that we cultivate in life, if they are formed on a strong foundation, then they can weather anything. Jesus used popular stories called parables. Parables were relatable. They conveyed something about faith, life, love. They were filled with wisdom. They taught lessons. They introduced us to all types of people: greedy people, kind people, determined people. They shared common experiences that everyone had experienced at one point or shared in life. Each story had both a divine as well as human connection. And so it was powerful to hear. Now, this particular parable that we heard, Jesus talks about the foundations of faith. And faith is something that develops over time. Sometimes in our faith journeys, we feel as though our faith might be gobbled up by a bird, and it was there and then gone in an instant. Sometimes we feel that our faith feels as though it has fallen upon stone, and you're like, yes, I'm going to be able to have the faith I need in God and in Christ to do this or to endure that. But the heat scorches it and it withers. Sometimes our faith surges up out of the soil, but it doesn't have roots at that point, and so it fails to take. But what you and I want in faith is to have that strong foundation where it has deep and abiding roots and reaches into the nutrient-rich soil and holds firm. One of the things they say about grasses, especially out in the prairies, is that they tend to hold on to one another. And so they're made up of a collection of the strength of all of their individual little blades. In the parable of the sower, I've oftentimes found that it was funny and interesting that the numbers that Jesus speaks about decline. He talks about how a strong faith foundation can lead to 100 or 60 or 30 times fold. I suppose if we continued He might say 15 or 7 or just a single digit. Jesus wants us to know that even if we are struggling in our faith journey, we have questions, or we're faced with trials that challenge us, that as long as we continue to develop that strong foundation of faith and trust in God and in Him, that faith, however strong or weak it might be, that it's built on a strong foundation, and that foundation in the hands of God will yield 100 or 1,000 times fold. So faith is like any other relationship. It grows, it struggles, it's filled with joy. And you know why? Because the bones of the foundation are Jesus Christ. And as long as our faith is built on Him, then in the words of Mrs. Morris, the rest, it don't matter. Because the house will stand if the bones are good.